Good evening, dear TN's family. Good evening, dear partners, dear leaders. You might be a bit surprised to see me instead of my colleague Katya, as she couldn't join us today. But no worries, I'm just backing her up for the period of her absence. So let me introduce myself. My name is Andriy Machicha, and I'm Senior Sales Support Manager for Europe region, and I'm the head of the Czechia and Slovakia cluster. And it's my pleasure to be a host today. On the behalf of the entire regional team of TNs, I welcome you at today's training. Just want to remind you about the translation channels, so please select the one that is appropriate for you. And we are curious to know what country or what region of the world you are joining us from. So please write down to our chat of the Zoom call, where are you from? So, dobry večer, buonasera, jó estét, dobry večer, labas vakaras, guten Abend, dobry večer i akşam lash. It's my pleasure to welcome all our partners from multiple countries to this very, very special training. And let me remind you that after the training, we will have, as usual, the Q&A session. So please drop all of your questions to the chat of our call, and we will later announce them, and we will do our best to reply on those questions. We are continuing the course, Build Your Network Marketing Business on Social Media. And the topic for today is promoting events and building an international team. And I do believe all of you will agree that this is extremely important and highly requested topic nowadays. So let's be very attentive. Let's take our pens, pencils, notebooks. And I'm inviting our very, very special trainer, certified business coach, psychologist, author, and NLP practitioner, Mr. Gediminas Grinevicius. So, dear Gediminas, the floor is yours.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen. Perfect. Okay, good evening, everybody. How are you guys doing? Some of you are just coming back from different trips with TNs, very excited, full of energy, and ready to, of course, to take your business to the next level. So, like Andriy said, today's topic is very important. Both skills, promoting events and building an international team, can be very profitable skills if you learn how to do it correctly. So today I'm going to take you through steps on how you can master both of these skills. And then if you have any additional questions, we will answer them at the end. So, what is our objective for today? The first objective for today is that you become a better event promoter and increase amount of people who attend your team and company events. You will probably agree that if more people from your team attended events, it would be much better for your business. The second objective for today is that you become an international leader and expand your team globally. Drop in the comments number 5 if you would like to have a team in many countries around the world. That is super, super important if you want to have large team and of course large income in your business. So let's start with promoting events. And like my mentor Eric Worre says, promoting events is the highest paying skill in network marketing. Eric even developed this kind of statistic where he realized that one person who attends a big company event will be equal to about $1,000 of earnings for you as a leader next year. So if you have 10 people at the big company convention, you can expect to earn $10,000 next year. If you have 100 people from your team at the company convention, then you can expect to earn $100,000 next year. Pretty cool statistic, isn't it? And next time when you're attending a big company convention, have a look around and see which leaders has the most amount of people at this convention. Where you'll realize that typically those are the leaders at the highest levels and earning the biggest amount of money. They have mastered the art of bringing people to the events. So one of the goals you should have is to become a very good event promoter, because that will give you very big returns in business. So why is it important to promote events in network marketing? especially in network marketing. Number one is events build belief, which is the number one currency in network marketing. The more your team members believe in the company, believe in the product, and believe in you as a leader, the more they will do in business and the longer they will stay in business. Number two is events create momentum that lasts for months. Some leaders even build their business from event to event to event because they know how powerful it is. So, have you ever heard of that snowball effect? Where you take a small snowball and you let it roll from the top of the mountain, and as it rolls, it gathers snow and it becomes an avalanche. The same can happen with your business, and events can give your business that momentum. Number three, events turn followers into leaders. A lot of people make big decisions at the events. I was one of those people. I remember attending the very first company event, sitting in the audience and thinking, one day I want to be on that stage. One day I want to be collecting the pin level. People decide to become leaders at big events. Number four, events multiply duplication. We know that duplication is the fuel of our business. Duplication is when other people are repeating, copying what you do. And events help to put the information across, to systematize your business. Events also strengthen team culture and retention. Because nowadays, as we are learning in this course, we are building business on social media, quite often we will find people who will join our business who we never seen personally. And over time, you might have a lot of team members that have joined your team, but you have never seen them in person. Events help to bring those people together so you can spend time together and bond. And that is very important for the longevity of your business. And retention is a very big thing in our business. If more people are quitting your business than joining, then you have what we call a leaky bucket syndrome. So you want to keep people in the business for as long as possible. And events help to do that. Even events that haven't happened yet. Imagine you find out that there's going to be a next company event in 3 months. And you encourage new team members to buy a ticket to that event. What happens now? Well, at least they're going to be building business for the 3 months because they already bought the ticket. So psychologically, they will stay in business for at least those 3 months. So it helps for you to retain people in the business. Also, events provide social proof. You see, sometimes you find a person and invite them to your team. They join your business, but you are the only person they know who does network marketing. And in their head, they're still questioning, is this business normal kind of business? Because most people they know have a normal job. But when you bring that person to an event and they see 100, 500, 1,000 people who are also doing network marketing business, that gives them the social proof. Wow, there must be something serious here that all of these people are doing it. So you want to bring a new person to an event as soon as possible after they join the business, so they can see other people. Also, sometimes you bring a person that is different from you. But when they come to an event, they might see other people like them, which also helps them to remain in business. Also, events compress time. So normally a person might spend very little time to learn about the business. But imagine a person comes to an event and spends an entire day learning about the business. They will gain a lot more knowledge in this one day than they might have gained in the whole month of doing it individually. Also, usually at the event, you have many people who speak at the event, sharing their experience, sharing their knowledge. So this person who is attending an event is getting 20 years of experience in one day because of all of these different leaders who are sharing. Events amplify credibility. You might be also new in business, and sometimes new people are embarrassed. They say, well, I haven't made much money. I haven't achieved much in the business. But when you invite your people to a big event, they see people who have achieved a lot. So this way you borrow their credibility to prove to your team member how amazing this business is and what's the potential in it. Also, events provide focus and direction, which is very important because you want the person to see the tracks where they are going in the business. You want to give them direction, and events very often will do that. Events are also revenue catalysts. What does that mean? It means people will learn about the products, people will learn how to build a team, they will get motivation, and all of that will contribute to them getting better results and making more money. Events also build your and your team's personal brand. A person might be brand new, but when they attend an event, they take pictures, they participate, and now they can share all of that information on their social media. All of a sudden, their friends on social media are now paying attention. Their friends are asking questions. Wow, where are you attending? What is this all about? Events also provide content for future promotion. Many business partners who attend events film videos, take photos, which they can later use on their social media to advertise the business. Events reward commitment. People who come time and time and time again are the people who eventually achieve the biggest results. I remember when my mentor showed me this story, and he said that every time a company convention happens, some people don't come back because they already quit the business. But those who come back are earning more and more money with each event, until one day they are on the stage being acknowledged as the leaders. Also, events build cross-team relations. Usually you are spending time with your leader and your team. But at the events, you get an opportunity of meeting other leaders, other teams, maybe even people from different countries. So you can learn more again about how different people build their business. Because even though the company is the same, each team usually uses different strategies. And of course, events create emotional peak states. Put a 1 in a comment if you attended an event and your motivation was much higher after event than before the event. Right? I can see some ones. For sure. Me too. Even after 15 years in network marketing, every time I attend an event, my motivation goes up. I get fired up. And let me ask you a question. What kind of team members do you want? Who are pessimistic, negative, depressed? Or do you want team members who are fired up, who are full of enthusiasm? For that reason, you want to use events. And finally, events are a tool, and smart leaders use tools to make their life easier. You see, you can motivate your whole team by yourself. You can teach your whole team by yourself. You can tell inspiring stories to your team by yourself. You can explain about products to your team by yourself. Or you can invite your team to an event and the event does it for you. What's better? Most say, well, I'd rather use a tool. Exactly. So events can be incredible tool. And I hope I sold you why you need to promote events. So now let's talk about how to do it. And again, like Eric Worre says, in network marketing, meetings make money. It's just that simple. So when I'm talking about promoting events, it could be a small event where 3 or 5 people meet. Or it could be a bigger meeting where there's 20, 30, 50 people. Or it could be a big event where there's 100, 500 people. Or there could be a huge convention that the company is organizing with thousands of people. All of those events are important. And you should promote all of those events. And you should try to get as many people to them as possible. So, there are 5 types of people in network marketing. The first type of person is what we call non-attendee. That person doesn't even go by themselves to the events. And of course, if you don't go to events, there's no way your team will go. Because your team is copying what you do. Then the second type of person is attendees. These people go to the events, but they don't promote them. They are always by themselves. And I was that person. I would go to all the company events, but I would always be by myself because I didn't know how to promote them. Then the third type of person is an announcer. They will go to team group or team chat and announce, "Hi everybody, there will be an event. I have told you." And they think that everybody saw it. They think that everybody will attend. But we know that's not enough. Most people are in so many chats and groups, they can't even see everything. The fourth type of person is an inviter. So this person will not only announce to the whole team, this person will also personally invite people to attend. And we know that personal invitation is much stronger than a group message. And they, of course, will get more people to the events. But the best type of person is a promoter. And the promoter will announce, the promoter will invite, and do a lot more to make sure that as many people as possible attend the event. How many of you would like to become promoters? Type 8 in the comments. Put an 8 in the comments if you'd like to become a promoter. Otherwise, we'll just finish the Zoom here. Okay, I see some 8s, okay. One very important thing to understand, that time, distance, and cost is only a problem when there's not enough value. If your team member or a customer is saying, "Oh, it's too far, I don't have the money," they're basically saying, "I don't think it's valuable." If you show enough value in the event, the person will do everything. They will fly to another country. They will book the hotels. They will find a babysitter to look after the kids and do everything to go to that event. So your job as a leader, and I believe all of you who are watching this are leaders, is to show as much value in that event as possible. And I will show you how. So these what we call tools of a promoter. And the first tool is your belief that it will be valuable for people to attend. Because if you're thinking, oh, I don't want to bother them, oh, I don't want to disturb them, oh, I don't want to ask them to come, that shows that you don't believe in the value of the event. You need to be 100% sure that it will change their life. Because it will. So when you're contacting your team member or a customer to invite them to the event, you don't say, hey, Helena, are you going to be attending the event? No, no. You say, how can we make it happen so you be there? You have to be there. What can we do to make sure you're there? Because a person's brain is like Google. When you give it a question, it has to come up with the answer. So when you ask the person, how can we make sure you're going to be there? They start thinking of ways. Number 2 is your commitment, which is your example. Like I said, if you don't go, they won't go. You need to be the first one who buys the ticket. You need to be the first one who announces to everybody, I'm going. I don't know about you, but I'm going. As a leader, you always have to lead the way, show the example. Number 3 is a decision and target. You have to make a decision how many people you want to have at the next event. What's your target? What's your goal? Because without a goal, you can't get there, can you? I always say you can't shoot a target that you can't see. The target has to be in front of you in order to shoot at it. Number 4 is vision. What will be the effect of the event? And you need to start sharing that vision. Telling people, this is what's going to happen. This is how it's going to change your life. This is what you're going to learn. This is what you're going to experience. These are the problems this event will solve for you. These are the people you will meet at the event. These are the products you will get to try at the event. You get where I'm going? You need to give as many reasons as possible and share your vision, how it will be after you attended this event and got all this value. Number 5 is intensity. If your team is not asking you to calm down, then you're not promoting it enough. They should be saying, okay, we know. You should be talking about it non-stop. Why? Because most people don't hear you the first time. Number 6 is concentration. The mistake I used to make, I would find out that there's an event in 6 months' time. And I would call everybody on my team. I would post into the groups. It's going to be amazing. You have to attend. But then other things would occupy my attention. And the weeks go by and the months go by. And then 2 weeks before the event, I remember, we need to promote it. But now it's too late. People already have other plans. So I learned my lesson. When I find out there will be an event, I promote it each week, non-stop, all the way until the actual event. And that's why number 7 is repetition. One time is not enough. You want to repeat it again and again and again. When I do my events, I put stories, I do live broadcasts, I send messages, I send emails, I do posts, and do everything else what's possible to advertise it. And do it many, many times. And the event comes, and always somebody says, "Oh, I didn't know the event was happening." And I'm like thinking, I did all of this and you still don't know about it? So imagine if you just do one post, then most people haven't seen it. Because you're competing for their attention with thousands of other people who are also posting. And of course, like I mentioned, you can advertise in group chats, in Facebook groups, but that is least effective. Most effective is one-to-one. And even if you have 5,000 people in your team, if you contact 100 people a day, it will take you 50 days to contact your entire team. You may say, wow, that's a lot of work, Gediminas. And it is. But first, you work for the event to promote it. Then the event works for you. Trust me, the work you put in to promote it will pay off. You need to create this verbal advertisement where you put in all the reasons why. And it can be as text, it can be a voice message, it can be a video, and best if you do all of the different formats so that you and your whole team can use it to promote the event. Make a plan. When you have a plan, you always do more. So make a plan for promoting the next event. And we'll talk about it at the end of our call. Share stories of previous events. What happened at the previous events? How they have changed your life? How they have changed other people's lives in the team? You want to use inclusion and exclusion. I'll explain. Inclusion is something that they get if they attend the event. Exclusion is something that they lose if they don't attend the event. So even though we love everybody on our team and we want to make sure that everybody feels welcome, you want to make it so that the person feels, if I don't attend, I will be missing out. It could be a group photo. It could be that everybody gets a t-shirt. It could be maybe a team dinner after the event. Maybe a small gift. Or at least a recognition post for everybody who attended. So you want to make sure that the person who goes feels like they're winning and the person who doesn't go feels like they're losing. This will motivate people to attend. because everything we do in life is to gain pleasure and avoid pain. You want to do recognition. Recognize people who buy the ticket. Recognize people who attend the event. Because recognition helps to increase that behavior. When people see how those who attend the event get your attention, then they will want to attend events to get the same recognition. Maybe even use a peer pressure. For example, a list of people who will attend the event in the team group. Now, somebody might say, why my leader is not on that list? Good question. Ask your leader. So that creates a bit of a pressure that, oh, my name has to be on that list if I'm serious about building my business. Accountability. For example, if you're working directly with some of your leaders, you're giving them your personal time, you're coaching them, you want to make sure they are accountable. Are you going to be attending this event? How many people will you be bringing? Maybe even create a competition. Who will bring the most people to the event? Maybe contests where they can win prizes. For example, for each guest you bring, you are entered into a draw for a prize. You might have some incentives that they get for attending or for bringing people. You might even organize campaigns where the whole team is focused on promoting that event. A campaign might be 1 day, might be 3 days, might be a week. And all of this time, your whole team is doing everything to invite as many people as possible. You might give them tools like what message to send to invite, or what video to share in order to get as many people to attend as possible. And of course, one of the biggest things is problem solving. It would be ideal that everybody just attended. But people will have challenges. Somebody doesn't have a car. Somebody doesn't have where to leave the children. Somebody maybe doesn't have the money for the event. So you will need to work with those people to help them to solve those problems. Maybe make a plan to sell so many products so they can earn the money for the event. Maybe get a few people together in one car so they can travel together. Maybe help people to share a hotel room at the event. You might even want to give challenges for your leaders to bring a certain amount of people, or give a task to a new person to buy a ticket and attend the event. But what you want to do is set this standard, this expectation that everybody attends. In your team's head, it should be not normal not to attend event. It should be a golden standard that we all do our best to attend the event. And of course, if you are organizing an event, you want to also use delegation and give other people responsibilities. This way, you don't have to take care of everything by yourself, and your team members are getting involved. Somebody is doing the registration desk. Somebody is taking care of tea and coffee. Somebody is looking after the music. So this way, you have event that is ours and not yours. And if possible, sell the next event tickets at this event. So this is how you can build from event to event to event. Now let's talk about different channels and tactics to promote the events. One can be a landing page or a registration just for this event. Two is email marketing, drip campaigns, where you are sending them information regularly to keep encouraging them to attend. Of course, social media and content marketing to keep telling people about this event that's coming up. You might want to use partnerships or influencers to promote that event, especially if there's people that you know with big following. You might want to use press, PR, local media, maybe even some flyers if it's a local event. You want to use user-generated content where people are posting that they will be attending. For example, you might run a contest where people can win a prize if they share a post that they're going to be attending this event. That creates a buzz. And of course, you can have on-site live promotion during the event for the next event. Now, also I want to share some advanced hacks. One hack is using scarcity and urgency. So for example, I ran an online event recently and I announced that the first 100 tickets will be with 85% discount. And then they sold out very quickly because people knew that after that, the price of the ticket will go up. Or urgency can be a deadline. For example, until Sunday, you can buy a ticket at this price. But from Monday, the price goes up. So it encourages people to take action. You can value stack your event and add bonuses. So for example, everybody who attends this event will get this, will learn that, will meet these leaders, will have a chance to take a photo, and maybe some bonus. Like everybody who attends this Zoom will get the PDF of the slides. That's a bonus, right? So you can think, what other bonuses I can give to encourage people to attend the event? It might be a product sample. It might be some leaflets. It might be some other things that people want to get. You might want to have a segmented messaging, meaning you're contacting different people in a different way, where you create a message that will resonate with that group of people. So for customers, maybe you can tell that they will learn more about the products and get to try new products. For those who are selling, you might say they will learn new strategies how to sell more. And for team builders, you might say they will learn how to build bigger teams and international teams. So it's the same event, but different message for different people. You can have referral mechanics, meaning that people recommend others to attend. They invite others to attend. Because if it's only you promoting, it's a hard job. But if there's 50 people promoting, then it becomes easier. You can even use gamification, turn it into a game with points, with medals, with prizes for invitations and attendees. And you can leverage micro events and webinars as a warm-up to the big event. So let's say you know there's going to be a really big event in your country. So you might do smaller meetings in different towns to encourage people to attend the big event beforehand. You can content drip teasers. Like, this is the speaker you will be meeting there. This is the product that will be revealed. This is something else that you will learn bit by bit to get their appetite to go to the event. And one really good strategy is leader videos. So when you're attending the next big event, where there's lots of leaders from your company, get your phone and ask each leader to tell 30 seconds why it's a must to attend the events. So when you're promoting the next event, you can now share those videos with your team and other people and say, look what this leader says. Look what this leader says. Look what that leader says. It gives bigger encouragement for people to attend, because now they see successful leaders encouraging to attend. Now, few pro tips. By the way, are you guys getting value? Type yes in the comments if you learned something already. Otherwise, you know what's going to happen. We'll finish the Zoom. Terrific, terrific. At least few people are learning. Do a before event preparation meeting. So when you invite people to the event and they're already going to attend the event, you do a small meeting before the event where you prepare people, explain to them how to attend the event, to take notes, not to leave the room while the conference is happening, really to get focused. Then you do after event debriefing meeting. And this one is worth its weight in gold. You can meet physically at the event location after the event, or do a Zoom like this with your team. And then in that Zoom, everybody shares what they have learned, their bingo moments. And what we always find with our team is that different people heard different bingo moments. I might have missed that point, but somebody else shares it. So it's so valuable for people to come together and share what they learned and what they're going to use in business. These meetings can be very, very practical. Also, 24 hours after the event, follow up with every person who attended from your team and ask them, how did they find it? What did they learn? You can use event photos and videos for social media. And even if a lot of your team members attended, you can create one group where everybody puts their pictures and videos so that the entire team can use. Very important. Create a post-event challenge or action week where we are actually taking the knowledge and putting it into practice. Because sometimes, you know what happens after the event? I call it event hangover. It's basically when people attend the event, they go home and they do nothing. They are paralyzed because there was so much information and they don't know where to start. So it's a good idea to give few action steps to start taking action. And finally, track conversions and results after this event, because those stories will sell the next event. So if I know that Denise attended the training and now she got more sales because of that, I can use her story later to other people and say, look what happened when she attended the event. It's really, really important. Now, I know we're focused on this training about promoting events, but I want to give you tips how to organize event if you're doing your own little event. Or it might be not so little, you might want to have a big event. So first of all, you want to have a suitable location that's good for many people to come, like with good parking, easy public transport access. You want to have a reasonable ticket price that's not too expensive to people, but also will cover your costs of hiring the venue. You want to have a registration table where you can register people when they come. You want to have a good seating arrangement. Usually a theater style is quite good. If possible, you want to have music because it creates the energy. You, of course, want to introduce each speaker. Like today, Andriy has introduced me, right? And of course, you want to have the program for presentations or lectures. Now, once the event gets going, you want to have planned the gatherings. If there's going to be small group gatherings in the event, you want to prepare materials in advance if you'll be handing out some materials. You want to take care of temperature in the room. Now, it might sound silly, but I've been at events when they're so warm in the room, people are just sleeping. And there's nothing worse for you as a lecturer when you're teaching and your audience is sleeping. Good job here. Most people don't have the cameras open because probably I would see them sleeping as well. Now, also, you want to have sales tools. If at this event you'll be selling products. And of course, you want to be advertising the next event if you're planning to do them regularly, so people can plan in advance. I would recommend to arrive at least 1 hour early to prepare if it's a small event. If it's a big event, of course, you want to be as early as possible. Always bring a good mood, good energy. You want to start and finish on time. Because if you're starting late, then you are punishing people who got there on time and rewarding people who got there late. That never pays well. You want to dress for success. So it doesn't mean that you have to buy a very expensive suit, but be dressed formally. You want to fill the room from the front. So encourage people to sit at the front and then fill it in as it goes. You want to have announcement at the beginning of event to turn off the phones, where the toilets are, if there's fire alarms planned, and so on. And you want to encourage people to stay in their chairs during the event. And you want to be staying in the chair as well, because they follow your example. And finally, don't talk during a presentation. I see a lot of leaders do that mistake, where somebody else is speaking on the stage and they're chatting between themselves. That shows a bad example. You want to be participating at the event, answering questions, raising your hand, but because it will encourage other people to do the same. After the event, the best question to ask: what did you like the most? Whether that's a presentation, ask them, what did you like the most? Or if it's a training, ask your team members, what did you like the most? You want, if it's a business opportunity presentation or a product presentation, the presenter has to help to close the sale. I used to make this big mistake. I would do a business opportunity presentation. I would explain about the company. I would explain about the products. I would explain about the marketing plan. And then I would say, thank you for coming. Bye-bye. That is the worst thing you can say. At the end of the presentation, you want to say, now turn to the person who invited you here today and tell them, what did you like the most? So this way they can start the conversation and register that person or sell the product. Stay in the room with the candidates. Teach your team members to do the same. If you invited somebody for the presentation, don't just leave them in the room. Sit with them and listen to the presentation. And after the presentation, introduce new team members to other people so they can see there's other people doing this business too. And of course, at the end, you might want to share stories and feedback of other people's success. It can be product stories or business success stories, especially if you have some leaders at the event who have achieved a lot. Okay, so that ends our first big part of this training about promoting events. Now, the next segment, it's about building an international team. And really building an international team is like insurance policy for your business. Because things happen. As we have seen over the last few years with wars and pandemics and different things happening around the world. And if your whole team is just in one country, sometimes you can be exposed to political or economic problems in that country. But imagine if you have a team that's in 50 countries around the world. Now, if one country goes down, the other countries will keep your business going. So we always start where we are in that country, but then the idea is to expand. And again, today I will share some strategies with you. So again, let's start with asking why it's important to build the international team. One, it creates true freedom and stability in your business. Two, network marketing is a global industry. So you want your business to be global, especially with TNs, which is a global company. Also, you can tap into explosive growth markets. So, as you're monitoring your company, you can see which countries are growing fast. And then it makes sense to build your teams in those countries too. Also, you have then 24-hour business and you can even earn while you sleep. I remember this quote from Warren Buffett, who is one of the most successful investors in the world. And he said, unless you find a way to earn money while you sleep, you will work until you die. Who in here wants to work until you die? Me neither, right? So that's why we want to create a business that's earning money while we sleep. So even though it's daytime here in Europe or evening, it's now afternoon in USA or maybe early morning in Australia. So you can literally have a business that works 24 hours a day when you have an international team. For example, sometimes I get a question from people where they say, Gediminas, like up to what time can I contact people on social media? Like if I message somebody at 11 o'clock at night, maybe it's rude. But if you have people who you're contacting in USA, it's middle of the day there. So especially if you're building your business around your work and you want to be doing it early morning, late at night, having an international team actually helps to use all the times of the day. Also, global teams multiply duplication. So this way you can duplicate your business in different countries, what you've already built in your country. It gives you leadership development opportunities. Because in each country, you want to have leaders who run their own teams. And sometimes when you're building your business just locally, you are doing everything for everyone. Because it's so easy. Because you are helping everybody. But when you have teams in different countries, you can't do everything for everybody. This way, you are forced to develop leaders in those countries. Also, it creates that bigger vision with bigger business. Do you want a small local team? Or do you want a massive international team? It gives global recognition and influence. Imagine becoming a leader who is an international speaker, international leader. Also, it gives a leverage over exchange rates and economic differences. So some countries are stronger than others sometimes. And you can take advantage of all of those factors. And of course, it gives you leverage over digital platforms, because different countries and different regions use different platforms. For example, they use certain social media platforms in China that we don't use here in Europe, and vice versa. So you can take advantage of these different platforms. Sometimes when you build an international team, you also attract higher caliber partners, especially if there's new countries opening up where there's not a lot of people doing the business. It gives you a bigger legacy and bigger impact, where you are helping a lot more people than just a small group near where you are. It helps you to learn cultural intelligence, learn about different cultures when you're expanding your business. And even events that we spoke earlier about become more powerful when you have a larger team. Do you want hundreds of people at your event? Or do you want thousands of people? It also future-proofs your business. So if there's any changes in the future, you have spread the risk, if you can say that. And of course, it inspires your team. It shows them an example that if you have a big vision, you can have a big business. And of course, it's easier now than it's ever been before. When I started 15 years ago in network marketing, there was no social media. There was no Zoom. There was no Skype. There was no WhatsApp, no Telegram. If I wanted to speak to a team member in Africa, I had to call them on the phone. It used to cost like £5 per minute. It was insane. Now you can do all of that for free. It has never been easier to build a big international business. And of course, this way you build true passive income, when you're making money without your personal effort. And you create this cross-cultural synergy. And I've seen it so many times, where people from different cultures meet and they learn from each other. They inspire each other. They teach each other. And finally, it positions you as a visionary leader, somebody who has a big global vision. So I hope I sold you on why you should build an international team. But before we go into how, very important quote from Tony Robbins. And he says, complexity is the enemy of execution. Your goal is to make it as simple as possible. A good example of a simple system is McDonald's. Have you realized and noticed that teenagers run McDonald's? Why? Any other normal business, you would say, no way. But here, they are fully capable of running the whole restaurant, because the system is created so simple. So when you're building an international team, You want to keep it as simple as possible. Do not overcomplicate it. So, first of all, international mindset. Global versus local mentality. You start local where you are, but then you expand global. And I will give you some strategies how to find people in other countries. You want to build for duplication, not for heroism. Meaning, keep it simple so that other people can repeat what you do. You need to be willing to invest and commit. And most of the investment will be time. It will be effort, not money. And local leadership is essential. So when you start building in different countries, you want to develop leaders there who will be taking care of that team. Now, inevitably, when you build an international team, you want to have training, support, and duplication. So again, you might want to segment type of team members. So there will be customers, there will be sellers, and there will be team builders. You want to have quick start and fast wins. So when a person registers and joins the team, give them simple steps to get them a win as soon as possible. It might be to use the product that gives the fastest result, or to sell the product that's easiest to sell and gives quick profit, or to recruit people who are most likely to join. Because when they get a quick result, it gives them the proof that it will work. You want to use three-way calls, mentoring, and peer support for those people on the ground. So you might be 1,000 miles away from them, but you could do a call with them on Zoom or on Facebook Messenger or on WhatsApp, where they invite a potential team member and three of you are talking. And you are helping them to recruit people in that country. You want to standardize training content. So the trainings that you have, you might need to translate them into different languages. You might need to adapt to local currencies and things like that. And of course, you want to have your office hours and live Q&A sessions. Now, building a 24-hour business doesn't mean you have to work 24 hours a day. So you can set certain times when people can contact you and explain that the other times you are sleeping. But you can have live Q&A sessions where you can answer all the questions for people in different countries. And of course, celebrate their wins and build culture. Even the smallest wins, that will encourage them to keep going while the business is small in that country. And you want to do everything possible to retain people, to keep people in the business and keep them motivated. So, do you know which countries TNS has presence in? If not, that's your homework. Research and find out. Then ask a question, or I'm asking you a question. Where would you like to have teams? Would you like to have a team in USA? Would you like to have a team in Dubai? Would you like to have a team in Australia? Why not? I like to ask a question, where would you like to travel to? If you want to travel to USA, why not build a team there? So that your travel is a business expense. So build teams in countries where you want to go anyway. And think about where are new opportunities. So especially when the company opens a new region or opens a new country, it's a good idea to expand your team there. Now, how can you find people in those countries? One of my favorite strategies is a Facebook group strategy. So I'm Lithuanian, and I can go on Facebook and type in Lithuanians in USA, Lithuanians in Dubai, Lithuanians in Australia. You get the point. I can find Facebook groups with people in every country. Second strategy is the second degree of separation. So there is this theory that you are connected to every person on this planet through 6 people. You know somebody who knows somebody who knows somebody who knows the Pope. So you don't need to go 6 degrees. You just need to go second degree. So ask around in your friend circle, in your family circle, in your work colleague circle. Do you know anybody in that country? Is there anybody who you could introduce me to in that country? And people have relatives, friends, classmates who moved to different countries. And the third strategy is team campaign strategy. So you could have an international week. And on Monday, your whole team is looking for people in India. On Tuesday, your whole team is looking for people in USA. You get the point. Again, you give them tools, what message to send, what posts to put in Facebook groups, what other tools to use, and then everybody is inviting people from that country. And of course, your team members will also have relatives and friends in those countries. So it allows you to expand your business. Now, how to expand in another country? The mistake I made when I first started building an international team, I thought that I have to straight away go to that country. But that's actually the last thing you do. So first of all, you reach out to people personally on, for example, social media. And you get them on a call to have a conversation. If you are brand new, if you're just getting started, maybe you have a freeway call. You invite your leader to also join this call. Or later, maybe you even have group conference calls with people in that country. And only once you've already got a team established there, then you travel to that country. Because I've traveled to Kenya, to Uganda, to Tanzania, but it was much difficult to build a business once I get there if I haven't made many contacts. So for example, when I traveled to Kenya, I already had 50 people who attended my first event because I did the work before I went there. I messaged people, I found people who were interested in business. But when I traveled to Tanzania or Uganda, because I didn't do much work in advance, it was harder to find people there. So you want to do this strategically and cost effectively. But I don't speak other languages, Gediminas. How can I build international business? It's okay. It's totally fine. You can build a huge international team just speaking one language. First step, you look for people who speak your language. So if you speak Turkish, you speak German, you speak Lithuanian, you speak Russian, you speak Ukrainian, you speak whatever language, look for people who speak your language in different countries. Tell me a country that hasn't got any people from your country. You won't find one. People are all over the place. So you can first recruit people who speak your language. But people who speak your language and live in those countries will usually speak that country's language too. So now through them, you can expand the business into people who speak other languages. And then those people you recruit in those countries can help translate. So at one point, I was building a team in Lebanon, but I don't speak Arabic. But I had a lady who I recruited who speaks English, who would be translating the calls into Arabic. So this way we could do presentations, we could do trainings in that language. So you can definitely expand your business without learning new languages. Now, once you start building business in different countries that speak different languages, you will want to create tools in those languages. So you might even want to create few profiles where you're sharing information in different languages. So for example, I have a profile where I share in Lithuanian, and I have another profile where I share in English. For the team members, you might want to have separate Facebook groups, WhatsApp groups, Telegram groups. Like in our team, we have a Lithuanian group, we have an English group, we have a Russian speaker group, so that people who can speak different languages, they can learn in their own language. You might want to have separate YouTube channels where you will be putting resources for people. Separate business opportunity and product videos. So even if the same language, for example, English, but different countries have different currency. So in one presentation, I might talk about British pounds. In another presentation, I might talk about US dollars. So for different regions, you will create tools for those regions. And of course, you might have separate templates for messages and templates for posts and videos in different languages. How does this all sound? Did you learn something today? I hope so. But of course, we're not going to finish our training without homework. So, your first piece of homework for today is to create a plan for the next event promotion. So you want to have this sequence. You will tease people about it as soon as you know that the event will happen. Then you announce it. And remember, you don't just announce publicly, you will contact people personally too. Then you share the proof, how it has changed your life in the past events, and maybe videos of other leaders telling how amazing it is and why it's important to attend. You create urgency or scarcity, and then you remind. So create a plan now. Do you know what's the next event? If you don't know, find out. And as soon as you know, create a plan to promote it. Decide how many people you want to have there. Is it going to be 5 team members from your team? Or is it going to be 10? Or maybe 50? If you want to earn more, you want to invite more. The second piece of homework from this lesson is to create a plan for international team expansion. So, first of all, decide which country you want to expand your team. And then use what you've learned today to start building a team in that country. So, step 1, find a leader. Find somebody who's a little bit influential in that country who could introduce you to other people. Then create a localized launch so that more and more people are joining. Create simple onboarding, simple tools for people to get started in that country. Do lots of recognition for people who join and start, for people who place their first orders, for people who start recruiting and selling. And then duplicate. Get as many people as possible to copy the system. And then do in another country. And then do in another country. And in another country. And of course, as usual, you will get a PDF of all of these slides so you can use it, go through it again. So thank you very much. Picture time. Please turn on your cameras if you can, and we'll take a picture and then we'll go into the Q&A. All right. Don't worry, I don't have any makeup on as well. And I haven't brushed my hair today as well, so it's okay. All right, come on, everybody, turn on your cameras. Hi, come on. We want to see all of you. And we know those who don't turn on the camera that they're already asleep. All right, so 3, 2, 1, cheese. Super. So
All
now,
right.
fantastic.
Dear leaders, so we are waiting for your questions. So drop them into the chat as soon as possible.
Absolutely. Maybe something you're not clear about. Maybe you have some challenges.
Don't be shy. It's your time and your opportunity. Use it.
Even if the question is not to do with today's topic, you can ask.
Okay, it seems we have one question.
Absolutely. How to start an old leader when we actually are not too successful in inviting? Very good question. So I would say you need to start afresh. Sometimes, a lot of the time, I get a question like, how do I restart? But the reality is, you just start the same way how a new person would start. So you do the same actions as a new person would do. So what I would recommend is watch our first lessons where we spoke about fixing your profile and then contacting people, to use that in order to start inviting people. Because what I taught in lesson 2 about inviting people works the same for international inviting as well. Hope that makes sense, Veronica.
Good. And we also have the next question that comes from Romania. And dear Gediminas, I will reply on it. So in English, it says, if we have an account in Romania and want to expand our business into the US, do we need to have an account, TN's account, at US platform? So based on the information that we received recently, basically yesterday, from the country manager of United States, there is no need as long as the TN's US operates within the same compensation plan as Romania. So meaning the new compensation plan. So I hope that clears.
Brilliant. And one more thing to Veronica's question.
Oops, sorry. Yeah.
Sometimes we think that we are not very good at inviting because we didn't have much success inviting people. But often we didn't have much success not because we are inviting incorrectly, but because we haven't done enough of it. Sometimes we send 50 messages and nobody's interested. And we think, no point to send messages. But that's not enough messages. I recently spoke to one lady who sent 3,000 messages to people who live in USA. Out of 3,000 messages, only 4 people joined her team. But one of those 4 reached a high level in the company. And now she's earning thousands of euros every month from that one person. Was it worth to send 3,000 messages? Absolutely. So sometimes it will take longer than you expect. It's okay. I see Maria is asking a question. My question is how to reactivate a sleeping team member. So in network marketing, we have this saying, it's easier to give birth than to raise the dead. So quite often, it's easier to recruit new people than to revive those who don't want to do the business. However, what I would recommend is to contact those inactive team members and ask them, say, look, I know you have been inactive for some time, but maybe something changed and you would like to get involved again. Because we have new technology. We have new trainings from this bald guy called Gediminas. Maybe you could get started again using his trainings. So see if the person is open to get started again. And then if they are, my recommendation, same as with a brand new team member, hold them by the hand and show them what to do. For example, instead of saying, okay, go and send messages to people on Facebook, have a call with them, ask them to share the screen, and tell them what message to send and show them where to click and who to send it to. Instead of telling them, go put some videos on Facebook, give them an example video and show them how to post it. Do it together with them. Because especially if the person is not very good with technology, it's scary for them. It's confusing. So work with them together and they will start doing these activities.
Thank you, dear Gediminas. Dear leaders, any more questions from your side? Well, while you are thinking about the new questions, let me um, go straight to very important thing. So we just finished the fourth lesson of the course. And I want to take this moment to invite you to our next and basically our final lesson of the course, lesson number 5. That is scheduled to happen on November 13th, 6 p.m. Central European Time. And it will be dedicated to a daily social media action plan and onboarding new team members. So please use this opportunity. You see on the screen the QR code. Please scan it. Register for free. Register for free for the next educational session and save the date.
But very importantly, promote this training to your team. Don't come by yourself. Now you've learned all of these things, there has to be at least 50 people from your team on this training. The more of your team members will attend, the bigger your business will grow.
And we have one more question. Dear
Yep,
Gediminas.
absolutely.
Yeah.
So Albina and Emilia is asking, what are the first things you talk about with people from other countries before you go to the place and after you go to their country? What does the first event you hold look like? So it is entirely up to you how you want to run your event and what you want to invite people to. For example, I like to do a business opportunity presentation. So before I go to that country, I will reach out to people personally and ask them if they would be interested in earning extra income and joining a new business that's coming to their country. If they say they are interested, I will then book them for a date where I know I will be in that country if I'm already traveling there. And then I will get as many people as possible to attend. If I'm not yet planning to travel there, then of course I will have a call with them online and give them all the information over the internet. And I will maybe travel once I have a team built there. But you could do event about the product, or you can do the event focused to the business. And it's all about asking them if that's something that they would be interested in. So for example, in TNs, you have a lot of health products. So it's easy to start a conversation with somebody about health if they're interested in health. Or maybe even to look for people who are connected to health in that country. For example, doctors, personal trainers, dietitians, and so on, who already have a customer base of people who they can sell your product to. That's an easy way to recruit because you can straight away tell them your customers will buy this product from you. So you can have different approaches.
All right. So looks like we answered all the questions that were raised in our chat. And dear Gediminas, on behalf of the entire TN's team, I want to express our gratitude and appreciation for you sharing those and delivering those valuable training and sharing really useful tips with us.
Thank you so much for inviting me.
To all our amazing leaders across the world, thank you for finding time and scheduling your participation in this training. I want to also mention that all the training materials, including the recording of this training, will be sent, the link will be sent, the download link will be sent to all of you not later than October 27th. I also want to thank to every team member um, who supported us for the preparation of this training, so that helped to make it happen, and to all our team of translators. And to our training participants, I want to ask you something. Please reflect on what you've learned today. Use this momentum. Note what you've liked the most. Think also and note how can you use the gained knowledge. Also, don't forget to make a plan how you will implement those gained knowledge and turn it into the tangible and feasible results. Thank you again for joining us and see you next time. And also think globally, but act locally. Keep growing, keep believing, and keep moving forward with TNs. Have a great evening, everyone.
Thank you. Bye bye.